So To Leslie is the story of a woman whose name is Leslie, who's fallen on some hard times. A few years ago, she won like a good amount of money in the lottery in her hometown in West Texas. She's a single mother. But when we find her, things are a bit different. And the movie tells the story of how she has no option really, but to go back to the place she came from and the people that she had left behind, and see if they can somehow help her. And she's a difficult person. She's not the easiest person to help. She's plagued by certain things. And yeah, the story just really sort of puts herself in her experience as she goes through this journey.
Right. And your character, Mark, you're the person in the film that decides to take a chance on Leslie. Talk to me about that and why your character decided to let her in.
Well, from the character's perspective, I think, he's a guy who believes in second chances. He's a guy who's been through some things himself. He's a guy that a relationship in his past had gotten away from him for similar reasons. And I think he really saw an opportunity in a moment that I think was more emotionally charged than he expected to sort of, correct his karma a little bit and try to help out somebody.
Amazing. And for you, Michael, as the director, what was your main intention, with your direction and your involvement with the film? What were you intending to do?
It's an interesting question because, on the one hand, your intent when you make something is to just express it. Do you know what I mean? Is to find the right way to express what the script and the characters are saying to me. And in this case, I felt completely, to my experience as a human being, I'm not from West Texas. There's lots of differences on the surface between me and Leslie, but that character grabbed hold of me from the first moment that I read the script. So I asked you to, you investigate that. What, how, why, what? It's the immediacy and the rawness of it. It's her unapologetic kind of, existence. She's a powerful woman, actually, with no power in the world. And I'm really interested in that. So it was about finding a way to film this that captured what it was that I fell in love with. And that's how I sort of derived the style of the film, the very kind of raw, intimate, almost rough sometimes style, which sometimes can settle in ways and actually be kind of beautiful.
I love that. A powerful woman with no power in the world. That feels like so many people out there. We sometimes feel powerless, even though we know that we're powerful.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, we're all a little powerless.
All a little powerless. So for you, Mark, what was the biggest thing that you learned about yourself in playing the character that you did?
Well, I think at that time in my life, I was going through, not only was it, COVID for everybody, but I was in sort of one of the fairly fresh stage of grief and for something that happened in my own life. So engaging in the story emotionally kind of woke me up to something that I think may happen as a result of grief, which is where your ability to empathize sort of becomes amplified. And over the years, I think empathy is sort of, for most people, it has to be a learned thing because we're all very self-involved. So I think if anything, it was to be able to hold an empathetic space for the amount of time that it takes to create a relationship between these two people, and it was fairly more natural than I thought it was, than I thought it would be. So it kind of introduced me to that a little bit.
Oh, wow. And that really is kind of the theme of the movie, or what I got out of it as a viewer, is to have more empathy. So what is it that you hope that people walk away with? I'll start with you, Michael, and then I can finish with you, Mark.
Yeah, I think I think you said it, and you both said it, but I'll say it again. Movies, specifically, all art really, but movies are a way, the perfect mode to create empathy in people. If you can witness something non-judgmentally, even if it's not the way that you approach the world or your experiences in the world, and you come out the other side of that story feeling something, then I think we've achieved an empathetic connection. And that's, if we did more of that, the world would look different, I think.
I totally agree. Well, what do you think, Mark? What do you hope that people walk away with?
Well, that, everybody sort of deserves a second chance and maybe a third chance. I mean, you do what you can until you get tired, but empathy is I think is a good way to be, and also a good mode to exist in, and also just the nature of the vulnerability of somebody who is out of control is a little daunting, and it's a little sort of emotionally scary, but I think in the way that it's captured in this movie, you kind of you can see that it doesn't have to be that threatening, and there is a way to sort of have boundaries, and there is a way to help in a sort of non-judgmental and emotionally unrisky way, and it doesn't take much.
Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. I mean, you should be so proud. You guys are getting so much buzz. People are loving it, and now so many people in the world will get to watch who didn't get to watch at South by Southwest. So thank you.
Thank you. Fun to talk to you. Thanks. Have a great day.
Welcome to FabTV. Look at Hollywood's latest. See all the red carpets dressed to a T. Yeah, you know me. It's all free.